was a rich display of pageantry and ancient rituals. The 74-year-old sovereign takes the helm of a centuries-old institution that has often struggled to find its place in the modern world. First Lady Jill Biden was there representing the United States. She was joined by her granddaughter, Finnegan Biden. The pair wore complementary blue and yellow outfits, the colors of the Ukrainian flag. No American president has ever attended a coronation, but President Biden did tweet about it today, congratulating the king and calling the relationship between the U.S. and Britain a source of strength for both our peoples. CBS's Holly Williams.
The gilded gates of Buckingham Palace opened this morning and King Charles III emerged with his wife, the Queen Consort, drawn by 6 Windsor grey horses in the Diamond Jubilee state coach. The heavens opened, but that couldn't stop Charles's march towards his destiny through the heart of Westminster in central London, protected by over 1,000 members of the British Armed Forces. People in this country are used to the rain. The crowds kept calm and put up their umbrellas. They've been crowning monarchs in Westminster Abbey since the year 1066, and buried in this medieval church are 30 kings and queens, as well as other British giants from Charles Darwin to Stephen Hawking.
I here present unto you King Charles, your undoubted king. God save King Charles.
God save King Charles.
And then the oath of office.
Your Majesty, will you solemnly promise and swear to govern the peoples of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland?
I solemnly promise so to do.
The most sacred part of the ceremony is the anointing, a tradition rooted in the Old Testament of the Bible. Screened from view and using holy oil harvested from the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, Charles was anointed on his hands, chest and head.
God crown you with a crown of glory and righteousness.
Today wasn't the first coronation that Charles has attended. He was there in 1953 when his mother, Queen Elizabeth, was crowned.
The Duke of Cornwall sees his mother crowned.
A 4-year-old boy who can hardly have understood his place in history. Her coronation was the first time the ceremony was televised, giving the nation a glimpse of the elaborate service. Their young queen supported by her maids of honour, all daughters of aristocratic families. Today, 70 years later, the coronation was broadcast live in colour, showing off those golden robes in all their dazzling glory. And this time, the ceremony represented a more diverse country than it's ever been before. As king, Charles is the head of the Church of England, but England is no longer majority Christian. Today, the coronation included leaders from the Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim and Sikh traditions.
A symbol of covenant and peace.
King Charles waited for this moment for 7 decades, the longest apprenticeship in British royal history. Today, finally, St. Edward's crown was lowered onto his head.
God save the king!
God save the king!
Crafted from 22-carat gold in the 1600s, the crown's trimmed with ermine and festooned with over 400 precious stones, including rubies and sapphires. It weighs nearly 5 pounds. The crown's only used for coronations. Charles will likely never wear it again. Across the country, gun salutes rang out. The heir to the British throne, William, Prince of Wales, performed the homage of royal blood.
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
His son, Prince George, was a page boy to the king. William's brother, Prince Harry, estranged from the family, was there but played no official part. His wife Meghan decided to stay home in California.
May thy servant Camilla, who
Queen Camilla was also crowned and anointed today. Once reviled in this country, Charles's mistress, hated by the public, she's worked hard to improve her image since they wed nearly 20 years ago. The King and Queen left the Abbey dressed in their purple robes of estate. Escorted by nearly 4,000 military personnel, this time they travelled in the gold state coach, decorated with Roman gods and goddesses. The monarchy as an institution still has overwhelming support in this country, and the streets around Buckingham Palace were thronged for a royal flypast. Notably absent from the balcony were Harry and Meghan, as well as the King's disgraced brother, Prince Andrew. But the crowds today came to celebrate the monarchy and witness history in the making. Send him victorious, happy and glorious, they sang. God save the King.